How soon can I leave without being rude? If that exact question has ever slid through your mind at a party where nothing was even wrong, the people were kind, the music was fine, nobody did anything, then you might have what psychologists would recognize as a quiet brain. Here's what I want you to do while you watch. I'm going to walk through 9 signs. Count how many describe you, and hold on to that number, because at the end, I'll tell you exactly what it means, and 3 things you can do about it tonight. Most people who click a video like this hit 5 before they realize the story they were told about themselves. Shy, antisocial, too sensitive was wrong the whole time. Because this isn't a personality flaw. It's wiring. Researchers studying sensory processing sensitivity, a trait mapped out by psychologist Elaine Aron, estimate that 15 to 20% of people are born with a nervous system that processes the world more deeply than everyone around them. Not a disorder, a design. Let's count. Sign 1. You leave social events at 2%. Everyone else walks out still buzzing, ready for the next round. You walk out feeling like a phone that needs a wall socket and a dark room. The mechanism is simple. Picture your nervous system as a volume dial. Some people wake up with it set low, so a crowd cranks them up to a pleasant level. Others start the day with the dial already high, so the same crowd doesn't lift them. It shoves an already loud system past the red line. And here's the tell that separates this from ordinary tiredness. It has nothing to do with how much you like the people. You can adore everyone in that room, laugh all night, mean every word, and still feel the meter quietly dropping the whole time. When the drain shows up, even though the company is good, that's sign 1. Sign 2. Small talk doesn't just bore you, it exhausts you. There's a difference between this is dull and this is tiring. Quiet brains feel the second one. The reason lives in an almond-shaped structure called the amygdala, your brain's smoke alarm. Its job is to scan for anything that might matter, and in a high-reactive brain, it's more sensitive. So a room of shifting faces, overlapping voices, half-heard conversations, it isn't background to you. Every signal gets flagged, tracked, answered. And it isn't just the talking. It's remembering the name you caught 2 seconds ago, reading the face across from you, tracking 3 side conversations at once, deciding exactly when to laugh. 100 tiny computations a second, none of which the person relaxing in the corner is even running. 2 hours of that, and your brain has been sprinting a race nobody else in the room could even see. You're not weak for being tired. You did more work. Sign 3. Noise wears you down faster than it does other people. This is where just a preference turns physical. Environmental noise, traffic, open offices, crowded rooms, has been studied for decades, and the findings are blunt. Research compiled by the World Health Organization's European office and reviews like Hahad and colleagues' 2019 paper link chronic noise to elevated stress hormones, oxidative stress, and vascular strain. A 2024 paper in Nature's Exposure Science Journal was titled, flatly, "Noise Causes Cardiovascular Disease." Everyone's body pays some of that toll, but a high-reactive system runs the alarm louder to begin with, so it pays more. Think of the last time you tried to focus in a busy cafe. For a low-arousal brain, that hum is nothing. For yours, every door slam, every ringtone is one more small hit to absorb, and over a week, those hits show up in your shoulders, your sleep, your patience. That's not fragility. It's your biology keeping the bill. Quick check-in. How many so far? If you're already nodding at 2 or 3, you're not imagining it, and you're definitely not alone. Do me a favor, drop your running count in the comments right now, 1, 2, or 3, and keep tallying as we go. I read every one, and the patterns in those replies literally decide what I make next. Okay, sign 4 is the one that rewrites everything you were told about being no fun. Sign 4. A crowd never gives you the buzz everyone else seems to chase. You've watched it happen. The party lights other people up. They feed on it. They want more. And you've quietly wondered what's broken in your wiring. Nothing is. In a well-known study, researchers Cohen, Young, and colleagues found that people higher in extroversion, along with a specific dopamine-related gene variation, showed stronger neural reward responses to exciting, novel situations. Dopamine is the brain's go-get-it chemical, and the extroverted brain gets a bigger hit of it from the buzz, so it goes back for more. Your quieter brain isn't missing that reward system. It's simply tuned to fire less for noise and novelty, which is why you can say yes to plans and then feel a wave of relief when they're canceled. That relief isn't you disliking your friends. It's a reward system that was never going to light up for the crowd in the first place, finally let off the hook. Sign 5. After socializing, you need a decompression window, alone. Not because you're upset, not because anyone did anything. You just need the door closed, the lights low, and nobody asking anything of you for a while. Quiet brains don't recover in company. They recover in the absence of input. Watch what happens when you don't get it. The drive home in total silence, radio off. The extra minutes hiding on your phone in a locked bathroom at a family gathering. The walk that takes the long way on purpose. Those aren't quirks. They're your system stealing back the recovery it was denied, in whatever 30-second gaps it can find. Give it the window on purpose, and you come back sharp. Skip it too many days running, and everything frays. Sign 6. Your best ideas show up in silence. The shower, the solo walk, the quiet minute before sleep. Notice how your sharpest thoughts almost never arrive mid-conversation. They surface when nothing is demanding your attention. That's not a coincidence. When you stop taking in new external input, your brain switches on something called the default mode network, a set of regions that come alive at rest. Far from idle, it's where the brain consolidates memory, connects scattered ideas, and makes sense of your own experience. Ever been stuck on a problem all day, given up, stepped into the shower, and had the answer just arrive, fully formed? The insight was never going to show up in the meeting. It was waiting for the quiet. Which flips the whole story. Constant noise doesn't only tire you out, it quietly robs you of your best thinking. A brain that never gets to switch into that mode never gets to finish a thought. Sign 7. You catch details other people walk right past. The flicker of tension when a smile doesn't reach someone's eyes, the shift in a room's mood before a word is spoken, the tiny change in a friend's tone. Quiet brains process more deeply, so they pick up more. And that depth is the same trait that makes crowded places overwhelming. It's one dial, not two. It's why people bring their problems to you, why you can tell someone's struggling before they say anything. That radar runs all the time, a gift in a calm room, a flood in a loud one, because it's catching 100 signals at once with no way to turn the receiver down. You don't get the depth without the cost. They're the same wire. Sign 8. One real conversation feeds you more than a room full of chatter. This one isn't about energy math. It's about what your brain is built to do. A deep processing mind wants something to sink into. Scattered small talk gives it nothing to work on. A dozen shallow threads, none deep enough to actually process. So it stays hungry and drained at the same time. But put you across a table from one person going somewhere real, a genuine question, an honest answer, and the same brain that drowned in the crowd suddenly has its element. It can dig, connect, follow the thread all the way down. That's why a loud reunion can leave you lonelier than an evening by yourself, while one true conversation can light you up for days. You're not antisocial. You're built for depth, and depth is rare in a crowd. Sign 9. You crave your alone time and then feel guilty about it. This might be the truest one. You protect your solitude, you look forward to it, you need it, and then a small voice says you should want to be out there more. That needing this much quiet means something's wrong with you. Let me be clear, it doesn't. Solitude for a quiet brain is not a social deficit. It's a biological recalibration, maintenance on the exact system that lets you show up present and generous when it counts. Notice the cruelty in that. The one thing that reliably restores you is the one thing you apologize for wanting. You'll cancel on yourself long before you'll cancel on anyone else. The guilt is the only broken part, and you're allowed to put it down. So, what's your number? Here's the frame that ties all 9 together. Some people are batteries. They run down through the day and recharge by plugging back into the crowd. Others are antennas, exquisitely tuned, picking up everything, recharging by unplugging from the signal entirely. Neither is broken. A battery isn't better than an antenna. They just charge in opposite directions. If you counted 6 or more, your brain is almost certainly wired for quiet. So here's what you can actually do with that, starting tonight. Not someday. First, name it once, out loud. The next time you leave early or turn down a plan, you don't need an excuse. You need one honest line. I recharge alone. It's not about you. Said plainly, it ends the apology spiral, and most people respect it more than a made-up reason. Second, protect one recovery window on purpose. After any big block of people, a marathon of meetings, a family dinner, a full workday, give your nervous system 20 minutes of no input before you ask it to do anything else. No phone, no talking, no scrolling. That gap isn't lazy. It's the recalibration your brain was going to try to steal in scraps anyway, done deliberately, so it actually works. Third, stop translating your wiring into an insult. I'm antisocial becomes, I'm recovering. What is wrong with me becomes, this is how my system runs well. The words you use about yourself are instructions your brain quietly follows. That's the part you can start today, but there's a deeper layer, how to build a whole life around a quiet brain without shrinking it. Real relationships, a career, a full world, and the thin line between solitude that restores you and isolation that slowly closes in. That's exactly what we break down in the next video. So tell me your number in the comments and which sign hit the hardest. The most common answers become the next episodes. Because the quiet was never the problem. It was always the cure.